All right. Should we start, Anthony? All right. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to this quick and short notice, very fast, very informal webinar that we've got today. We're going to go over all the changes with Gemini. My name is Susie Lee. I actually run the customer success team here at 66 Degrees. And we're very excited to announce that everyone will have or should have access to Gemini moving forward. So we're going to go over the changes, what's all involved, and then I'm going to hand it to Anthony to give you guys a very, very quick demo, just give you kind of a blurb of everything that's available, and then we will leave it open for question and answers. So I think it's been about 2.5 weeks. The best of Google AI, Gemini, is going to be available to all workspace SKUs. This is pretty amazing because the retail price for Gemini Enterprise was $30, and now this is going to be included for free. What this means is that if you paid for Gemini for an annual price, if it was part of your renewal last year, starting January 31st, you will no longer be billed. This also means that there is going to be a price increase for anyone that's on a flexible plan. Starting March 17th, the prices will be increasing. So Business Starter is currently $6. It's going to go to $7. Business Standard, I believe, is $12. It's going to go to $14. And then you can see down the list. 2 years ago, Google started charging a flexible plan tax. It's a 20% increase if you're not in a commitment. So if you have any SKUs that are on a flexible plan that is not archive users, reach out to your customer success manager, or they will be reaching out to you. And you want to put that into a commitment, or if you want to take advantage of the previous pricing, you do need to have a contract in place prior to March 17th. So again, pricing increase is March 17th. This is only for those that are not in a contract. So if you're in a 3-year contract and you have both Gemini and Workspace, you will no longer be paying for Gemini. So that bill just went to $0 starting February 1st. And your pricing will remain the 2024 pricing. So very, very exciting. A lot of our clients that purchase a small amount of Gemini to get better pricing have even better pricing with $0 for Gemini. So this also means that all workspace SKUs will have access to Gemini. I'm going to go quickly over what that looks like. So this is for business SKUs. Enterprise SKUs are going to have everything except for Enterprise Standard and Enterprise Plus only have one difference. So Business Starter is not going to have too much, but Business Standard and Business Plus have quite a bit that is going to be included with these at no cost. Again, docs, sheets, slides. There's some really great features. One of my favorites is called Vids. It's the ability to create videos using generative AI, whether it's voiceovers or using stock images and videos. We've got videos on this. So again, reach out to your customer success manager and we can share the videos that we use to create. Side panel is awesome. It follows you through all of the different apps. It's getting better and better, and it can actually start analyzing PDFs, and videos is coming as well. So if there's a long video, maybe it's like an all hands and you didn't make it, you could just ask, hey, what did John talk about the new bonus plan for 2025? And then it'll just give you a summary of that section in a 45-minute video. So that's pretty exciting. There's a lot of really cool things coming out. The Gemini app or the advanced, this is gemini.google.com. There's some really great features. Anthony's going to touch on it. Again, if you want more information, reach out to your customer success manager and they can do a demo for you. Notebook LM, this is really, really exciting. It's the ability for you to put all the data that you want and have a curated assistant or research tool. So a team member, Juhi, she's on here. She was studying for her workspace administrator certification, and she took all the material she had, put it into Notebook LM, and had it create a podcast which she would listen to. So there's some really great things that you can do with it. And then AI classification for Drive. This is the feature that is not available for any business SKUs or enterprise standard. It is only available for Enterprise Plus. So if you need more information on that, again, ping your customer success manager. I'm going to hand it over to Anthony to do the demo, and I will stop sharing.
Perfect. Thanks, Susie. So first, I want to hop into the admin console first, just to show you like some of the new options that are listed there under the generative AI section, with the announcement that Susie's talking about, and the giving Gemini to all SKUs, especially like the enterprise SKUs. There are some new sections in there. So now under the Gemini for Workspace area, you will have the ability to turn this off specifically by app. You know, if you're not a company that uses Meet, or you know, you're using Outlook still, even though you have Google, you can turn off some of the AI functionality by specific app. You can turn them all off if you don't want this on for your company, because by default Google is turning this on. So just, you know, I'm sure a lot of you have gotten calls about this. You can also turn off the Gemini app specifically. If you don't want that service on for everybody, you can turn that off. There is some reporting in here. They've expanded on this a lot. You know, this was very basic at first. Like originally we only had this page, but now if you scroll down, there's a lot more information about the usage, you know, the apps, and then you can even get a user level idea of how people are using it. And this was really helpful when, you know, people were paying for the license, because then they could say, you know what, Susie's not using the license as much as the Gemini demo account. Let's remove Susie's license and give it to somebody else. Now that it's included in your SKU, this may not matter as much, but it does give you an idea of how like your employees are using it. Here's like the scale right here. Like, you know, medium is used Gemini 5 times or more. And so you will see that across here. So that's just good information to have. I always wanted to point that out. Another thing you could turn off, you could leave everything off, on, and then for Google Meet, if you wanted the take notes for me section turned off, if you go into the Google Meet application settings here at the very bottom, there will be a Gemini settings section, and you can, you know, turn off the note-taking ability. It would still give them some AI functionality, like live translated captions and like, you know, creative backgrounds, and helping with like, you know, visual appearance and audio and things like that. You could also turn on note-taking automatically by default. So maybe like every HR meeting that gets booked, you could turn this on for like the HR group or the HR OU. And so every meeting they have will automatically take notes. I haven't seen anybody use that yet, but that, you know, that could be helpful. So yeah, so let's talk about some of the newer features. You know, I don't know if anybody's seen this. I know, Susan, you mentioned you haven't seen it. If you have Gemini enabled in your environment, the first thing you're going to notice is like this star icon right here. And this is just telling you that, hey, you have it in your environment. You can see this is kind of like your help guide right here. This is a side panel that Susie mentioned. You can use this as like a really good granular search. You know, so I could say, do I have any quotes in my inbox? And it would pull up and filter out by those quotes. You can use this for creating images. You know, maybe you're sending an email to somebody, and you know what, I need a picture of something specific. You know, if you search for it on Google, you find the image you want, but it has like the watermark in. You might say like Adobe stock photos on there or something. So that may not be what you want. So you could say, create an image of an electric car on the beach. And you can get an image right here. And it generally says it takes 15 to 20 seconds. That's just because it's bringing back multiple images. It's not just one single image. It's just usually 3 to 4 images. So it takes like 15 to 20 seconds. But you just wanted to show you that you can, you know, create images directly here. You can also, a newer feature is there's a calendar integration. Right now you can't add people directly via the prompt to your calendar, but you could say, you know, create a weekly happy hour every Friday at 4 p.m. and then tag, using the @ symbol, tag the calendar as a tool here or an app. And then you'll see it will create the event. And then once it's created, then you'll have the ability to go in there and edit. So now it's created. Still, Google's trying to keep it so you don't have to even leave Gmail. They want you to be working in Gmail and be productive. So now I can just click on this, and you know what? Now I can add people to this. I can go in and type Susie's name, and now she's added to the event directly. Maybe in the future, you might have the ability to add people directly in the prompt. We haven't seen that yet, but just wanted to show that. Dan, I wanted to mention the workflows option that I was talking about to you. So not everybody will see this. This is slowly rolling out, but eventually you'll be able to create automatic workflows. So for like repetitive tasks and responses in your Gmail. So I have it turned off right now, but just to show you how it would work. For like this email right here, you'll see that we have this reply button option up here. When you click on that, it automatically will generate a response. And once you get your response populated, you'll see that there is like an automated option right here. So the automate for future emails, once you have this enabled in your environment. So when you see that, you can turn this automation on. And so what that would look like is now when I get an email that's similar to that one about specific questions, you'll see that it automatically is creating a draft here. So when you have that Gemini icon and the blue draft text right here, I have another one down here. It's automatically creating these drafts for me. I haven't even clicked into these emails yet, but now if I click into one of them, you can see that there is generated emails in there for me. So this is going to really save people time. If you're busy throughout the day and you get 25 emails and they're similar, you can have these auto responses generated, and then you can just go in there and tweak them as you need. And then you can always turn it on and off, just like we were testing it. You can view the activity. It shows you like, hey, you know what? This is where apply. This is an email that it picked up. You can always refresh this. Still very new. This is like the second time I've even shown it to people. So, you know, really cool option. And then, you know, again, for people who haven't seen it, there's multiple ways to get replies. So I can use the side panel to create a reply. You'll see me clearing the history. I just do that for like demoing purposes to make it look a little cleaner. But you can just say, suggest a reply, and it will create some short replies for you. Using this reply button, I feel gives you a more detailed response. It really takes you know, actions on the items in the email. I mean, this one does too. This one obviously looks really good. That's a good email. But what's cool about the response is when Gemini's creating that, it calls out what you're supposed to do. Like, oh, you know what, Susan, we need you to create a video and a slideshow and a blog post, and using Gemini to get your response will call these out. You can also just hit the reply button, and there will be some short responses here that you can click. You can also click on this pencil that you'll see across multiple applications. It's the help me write option. You could just type something short like this, you know, sounds great, let's get started. And this will create a response for you. And then again, you can tweak it, you can elaborate this, formalize it. If you don't like the response, you can hit recreate. You can, you know, add some different, you know, feature or functionality here. And you can always add on to your prompts too. You can say, you know, include bullet points or make the tone more professional. So there's a lot that you can do from within the Gmail application. Let's see. I guess I'll show Vids next. Vids is one that Susie mentioned. This is probably one of our favorite tools out there right now, just because of how easy it is to build videos. You know, I'm not a creative person. I'm not on the creative team. And so having something like this, you know, helps us all the time. And so this welcome screen is eventually what you will see on like slides as well. So you'll be able to build an entire presentation. But so creating a video. So there are templates in here that you can use. New employee onboarding, you know, maybe it's a marketing video. Maybe you are creating like a training video for someone that's starting with the company. But we'll just put in something generic like this, create a video training for our new employees on the, you know, company rules and culture. And then you'll see it's going to build an outline for us. You can edit this outline. Maybe you don't want this confidentiality one. You could delete that. Then we hit next, and now we can pick our style. And so let's say you pick this style right here, you get a preview of it. You're like, you know what? I don't really love that one. That's not like corporate as much as I want it to be. Let's click on this one. This one looks a little bit more, you know, corporate related. So then you can create video, and then it's going to put like scenes together. It's going to add an audio track for like a little bit of music to play during your video. So it's a really cool feature. There's also the ability to add like AI generated voiceover. So you see here that it has like this script option in the right corner. So for every scene, essentially every next page over, it creates this script and it reads out what you say too. So I could say, 66 Degrees is the best company. It will read that out, which is really cool. So you don't have to use their script. You could create your own. I'll press play just so you can see really quick. I don't have the audio on. I mean, I guess I could join, right, Susie? Give me 1 second. Just so you could see what this looks like. Give me 1 second. And then I will present from this. Oh, I can't present because I'm not the co-host anymore. I can just share the video with you. That's okay. I can share the video with everybody, so you guys have you can play around with it and see it. But here's where you would hit the generate voiceover, and then again, if you click the pencil icon right here, these are all different voices. So male, female, some with an accent. So you can pick the voice that you want. Again, kind of like picking Siri on your phone. Let's say we want this one. And then if I click insert into timeline, now it's going to read this text. It creates this text in like an audio format. You see it down here. Maybe you don't like this audio track right here. You hit play. You don't like the way it sounds. Google has a huge stock media listed here. So if you click on stock media, I can change this to music. And I know it's already passed, but maybe you wanted to search for Christmas music. Maybe you're making a holiday video for later in the year. You can search through their Christmas music options in here. You can hit play and see what it sounds like, and then insert that into your video. When it's creating this video, it's not making AI generated videos like we created that AI generated image. This is from the stock video. So maybe you don't like this video right here, but you're looking for something else. You can change the options and say, you know what, we're looking for stock images and we want, like a hotel. I don't know what they were looking for, but you can now pick a hotel. You can search for whatever you're looking for. And they do have like GIFs and videos and web images, and you can also create images from the fly here, just like we did with the electric car. So create an image of an electric car on the beach. So you can create those AI generated images if you want. And then what's cool about this window is you do have the ability to change the style. So you can change it to cyberpunk if you're looking for a more futuristic, style of image. And then again, it does say it takes up to 20 seconds to create an image. And that's just because it's bringing back multiple images. It's not just one. And then so once we get our image here, I'll just click on one so we can see. Here's our AI generated car on the beach. It's pretty cool looking. And then let me share this video just so you get an idea of what it sounds like. Everybody can kind of watch this at their own leisure whenever they have time. Let's see, I just pasted that in there. Okay, another one that Susie mentioned was Notebook LM. So Notebook LM is really cool because you're almost creating your own like a repository, your own area based on the data that you give it. So it's only going to give you responses based on the content that you've uploaded. So for example, I've uploaded like some Gemini data here, and there's like the prompting guide and some other things. And then I can ask a question like, give me some marketing prompts, suggest some marketing prompts. And because I have this prompting guide in here, it's only searching based on the content that I have provided, the sources that I've provided. And then so we should get a response back based on, the data in here. So this one, here's an example, right? 3 engaging social media posts. It went out and it looked through the content that I had. I provided the source. You can, upload from Google Drive. You can paste from a website. You can paste just copied text. And then again, it's only going to search based off of what you've provided. It's not going out and searching the web for this. It's only searching what you have uploaded. Another example, I pasted in my own LinkedIn webpage, my profile, and I can say, do they have any certifications? And it's going to search my LinkedIn page because that's the only source that it has, and it will pull back my certification. So you can have a website in there that maybe Like I think the example Susie gave earlier was like one of our teammates was training for something. So they uploaded the training content, or maybe it's a website that has all the notes on there for you. And then you can ask follow-up questions around it. But then again, it's only going to give you responses based on the content that you upload. There's another tool that's out there. We talked about the Gemini app as well. That's called Gems. Gems is similar to Notebook LM, but Gems will still go out and search, and get you real world, results or answers. Notebook LM is not going out and searching for anything else. It's only searching on what you provide. So I'll show you one that I have created here, and then I'll show you how I created this. So I created like an IT support bot, and every once in a while I'll just say hello because it just kind of tells me what the bot is. You don't need to do that, but I just like to do that. It tells you like, hey, I'm your dedicated support bot. But then I can ask a question like, how do I set up my out of office? And what you'll see is the response we get automatically is mentioning Gmail. Now, is that because we're in a Google product? No, it should be, but it's not. It's because I gave it specific instructions telling it that I was a Google Workspace specialist. And this is what I mean when you could kind of create your own bot. So if I go to create a new gem, here's where you can name it. We call it IT bot. And then here's where you would paste in your instructions. So I have something like a pre-made prompt right here. I'm an IT help desk support representative, and I would like to be an expert in all things help desk for Google Workspace. I want to help my employees with setting up out of office, whatever your instructions are. You can add more instructions like make the tone professional. And then what's really cool, remember that pencil icon that we had earlier in Gmail. If you click on the pencil icon, it's going to take the short sentences that you provided this, and then it's going to rewrite it in a way better, format. It's going to give a lot more detail. I mean, this is so much more than I input. But then again, you can test your bot and see if this works. And then if it works, then you can save it and then use it for future use. You can even upload files here. Like if you wanted to reference, and maybe you're creating SOWs or RFCs daily, you could upload an existing one and say, this is what I want it to look like. I want it to reference this document to at least give it an idea on how to respond. So this is a really good tool. And then coming in the future, which is really going to be great, is you'll have the ability to share these. Right now, we don't have that. But if I did create one for my company, I wanted to share this with Dan or Brock or someone internally, I could share this with the company. And we're not 100% sure what it's going to look like. I'm guessing maybe there would be a section that says pre-made by 66 degrees, because Google does have their own pre-made ones in here that you can use. So there's like a career guide, there's outreach specialist, a sales pitch creator, sentiment analyzer, so there is a couple options in here that you can use if you're just not sure what you wanted to use it for. So that's a really good option. The Gemini app is probably, I would say, my team's favorite just because of how powerful it is and what it can do. So we were creating images earlier, and I just kind of wanted to show you some other ideas. This one is a little bit more specific. So this one says I need to create an image of a bakery in a cityscape setting. The image should be head on viewing the front of the store. Above the store, I wanted to read Doughboys, and then I even specified the hex colors that I wanted it to be. And then so you'll see that it will create that. And the images aren't always perfect. Sometimes the text may be off, so you can ask it to recreate it. That's pretty good image. That's what I was asking for. You don't have to put in the hex coloring. You could put in, create an image of a bustling creative studio filled with storyboards, sketches, and half-eating takeout containers late at night. And every time I do these prompts, the images are different because it's creating this on the fly based off of the content that you're providing it. And so we should get our image of like a creative studio with some open containers. Here we go. Here's some people eating food late at night. And then what's also really cool is you can ask follow-up questions. So you could say, create an image of a dog riding a surfboard. I always give this example. I know it's not relevant to anybody on the call, but I always give that example. But so, let's say we get like a chocolate lab here or a golden retriever. You can ask a follow-up question to Gemini and change the image, make the surfboard green. I can say, can you make the dog a French bulldog? And it will change the dog for you. It'll change the image also, but it does change the dog. So that's a really good option within within the Gemini app is image creation, but this is really good for creating content as well. Here's our Frenchie on a surfboard. If you're on the marketing side of things, you can ask Gemini to help you, create marketing content. So this one says, I'm a social media marketing manager, create a week-long social media campaign for our new bakery. We're going back to the Doughboys bakery. I like to Google wants in your prompt, they want you to say your role. They call it a persona. And that just helps Gemini understand how to respond. So I'm in the IT department. I'm a help desk representative. I'm an HR professional. You don't always need that, but the more information you give in your prompt, the better it helps Gemini know how to respond. So this one asks to create a week-long social media campaign. You can see in a matter of seconds, it creates this out. It'll create hashtags for you. It might mention what app to use. It gives you the caption to use. I mean, this happens so fast, right? And now what you can do is, like, maybe I am working with Desiree on this and I wanted to collaborate with her. Well, now I can share and export this into Google Docs, and then I can share that document with Desiree. I can open this up in Gmail directly. But this, now you have all your content here. Now I can say, you know what, Des, let's look at this together. I don't know why it's not typing, but we'll send it to Kelly. So now I can share this document with a coworker, and we can collaborate together. So that's something that's really helpful. Also, again, you can use this for creating emails. You can also create emails in the Gmail side of things, like we were doing earlier. But what's really cool is that how you can use similar prompts across multiple applications. So now, again, I can tell Gemini what my role is. I'm an HR professional, and I specialize in onboarding new employees. Draft a welcome email for our new employee, John Smith, starting, February 10th. And here we go. Here's our welcome email. And then again, you can take this directly into Gmail. You can take this into Google Docs. And then now we're going to use that exact same prompt, but we're going to do this in Google Docs. Again, I just wanted to show you that you do have the ability to use similar prompts across multiple applications. And because I asked to create an email, you'll see that it puts it in this Gmail smart chip within Google Docs. So now if I hit insert, now we can scroll through here and, like, you know what, I don't like the formatting. Let me tweak this up a little bit to make it more how I want the email to look. Now I can click and send to who I want it to send. I can put in our subject. And then if this looks good, again, I could share this with Susie, and we could collaborate together if we need to send this to a client of ours. And then I can send it directly from Google Docs by clicking this blue Gmail button. So that's another really cool feature. We could take that exact same prompt and we can build an email from scratch. I know I was showing you how to create replies, but we can put that exact same prompt here. And again, we'll get an email typed out. So I just really wanted to show you, like, how you can use this across multiple applications. So that's our email there. We can insert that. Let's see. Another really good feature too that's fairly new, I don't know if everybody's used this, is this create a document option. So this is really cool for building, like, really clean, clean looking documents, and it's formatted really well. So I could say, help me create a proposal for a new client we have called Doughboys Bakery. We're looking to offer our marketing and social media services to them. And then so you'll see it'll build this really nice formatted document out. Sometimes there'll be an image created in there. You can even reference another document. So while it's doing that, I'll show you what I mean. Let me delete this one so we can keep our environment clean. So when I go here to create a document, I can say create a document from this document or this page, and I can tag a recent document. So maybe you have notes from a meeting and you want to put it in a really clean format. You could do that. You could tag existing documents. So here's our proposal now for our marketing for our Doughboys Bakery. You can see it even puts an image of a bakery in here. Again, if you don't like that, if you click on the image, that same replace image icon that we saw in vids, you'll see that. And so you can choose from stock photos. Again, you can create one. You could say create an image of a bakery, something generic like that, and you'll get an image, a couple of images back that you can replace this one that if you don't like it. You have the styling option there as well, but this is a really good document. Like, this took, a few seconds to build out this really clean looking document. Now I can put my personal company touch on there, So here's our updated image. Another really cool one that I built in the we used in the past is I asked it to build the best buffalo wing recipe for me, and I just kind of wanted to show you like the formatting and how clean this looks and how it puts in these additional images. And this is a nice looking document. It would take me forever to do that. I built another one. We had our team meetup in New Orleans not too long ago, where we got snowed in. But I had one document that was, this references. It was one document that literally was just this list in a Google Doc. And I pointed to it and I asked the prompt, I asked it to help me build a team meetup guide, and I referenced that document. And then it took all of my content and it added like brief descriptions of all these restaurants and bars. It even put like a little picture of like New Orleans in there. I didn't give it all of this information. It built that out for me just based on a document that was literally all this text right here. So it's really going to help with like, building, really cool documents, really nice looking documents, and save people so much time. So that's another really great feature that I think we're happy to use. And then I wanted to talk about slides right now. Susie, and stop me anytime if there's something you want me to cover that I'm not. Right now, you can only build a slide one by one. So slide by slide by slide. In the future, you'll be able to build an entire presentation. And again, you will have that view of, let me open up, I want to keep that Gemini app open. You will have this view when you join slides, like this welcome screen. So you should eventually be able to have like your own company branding in there, like your own template in there. And you would be able to say, create a presentation from this document, and I could tag a document and build an entire presentation off of one document and have it formatted the same. It's not out there yet, but you can still build slides from in a document. So I can say, create a slide from this document. Again, I can use the @ symbol and I can look for my document. I can start typing out like, the name of it, or if I see it here, you could also paste the URL, but let's just say build a slide from this document. And again, remember, this is our buffalo wing recipe. I didn't specify what content to pull from there, but it's going to grab some information. It may even already have a picture of wings if you want on there. And then you can always create more images here in the side panel. But then again, also they have this help me, they also have this help me create an image here. So if you wanted to use a specific style, you could say create an image of a bowl of buffalo wings. And then again, you could pick out your specific content if you wanted to, and then you'll get your image here. So we're really excited about the ability to build an entire presentation right now, slide by slide. I don't feel it's super, super helpful because it still could take a while, but really going to be helpful in the future. Here's our bowl of buffalo wings. You can also, build things from scratch. You don't have to reference your existing content. So I could use like an example here. Like this one says, build a slide by describing a topic relevant to your presentation. You could say, create a slide about buying an electric vehicle. You don't have to reference anything. So that's something else that's really cool if you're building something from scratch. Gemini is also available in Google Forms. This is another one that we're really happy about. I mean, I don't know how many people on here build forms, but it takes a while and it has to be detailed, and you want to make sure you have the right suggestions in there. But you could say, create a form for a company happy hour and ask our employees if there are any allergies. I don't know, something simple like that. Of course, you could put more information, but you'll see really quickly, boom, now we have this form. Now I can go in there and send this to my company. And it took me, 2 seconds to build this. So that's another really great option. And then I did want to hop back into the Gemini app because, again, I think this is the most powerful one. I forgot to show you that you can search across your own applications too. They have what's called extensions. If you have this turned on in your environment, it's in the admin console as well, but you can turn this on. And this just allows you to search across your application. So I can say, do I have any meetings this week? And you'll see the icon, even here, the search icon turns into the workspace icons, and it tells me that I have 5 happy hours essentially that I have going on. I can say, can you summarize my inbox from last week? Do I have any unread emails from Susie? Something like that. You can search Drive files. course, it says it can't find any emails because this is a live demo, but I know I do have emails in there, I promise. Let's see if I open up a new chat. Do I have any unread emails from Kelly Wheeler? Let's see if that works. This is our demo environment, so there are some bugs that we get, especially when there's people on a call with this. I swear if it was just me and Susie, it would work fine. But it should reference your inbox. There we go. I have 7 unread emails from Kelly, and then it will even reference the email so you can click on them directly and it'll take you into your Gmail. So that's another really cool option. You also have the ability to upload images and local files on your device, or even directly from Google Drive. So maybe you have a quote that you're looking at and you want to compare the 2 quotes. You could select both the quotes and say, can you summarize these 2 quotes? And it'll give you a little bit of information. Of course, you could just open the quote, but maybe there's 6 or 7 quotes and they're really detailed and you just want a nice comparison on what they look like. You could upload resumes and ask who has more experience. You could upload, financial documents and get reports on that. You can upload a local file that's in a different language and ask it to change the language. So I could say, can you create this in English? And it's just a short email that I have created that I actually use Gemini to build it for me. It's just a Spanish email, something short. I asked it to change that. You can even ask a follow-up question to this. Can you make it Korean? I'm not asking it anything about the email. It knows because that was my last prompt. My last prompt was about an email, so it knows to give me the email response. So just a ton of things you can do in here. I'm not on the financial side of things either, but you can upload like financial documents and ask specific questions around that. So, forecast what 2025 would look like. Let's see if we can get that, create a visual chart, displaying the revenue by year. And then you'll see it analyze this. There is also a side panel in Google Sheets. So there's just a ton that you can do in here. I know we're getting a little, not close to time, but we're getting closer to time at the end. I didn't know if we wanted to save some time for questions, Susie, if you want me to kind of keep going through it.
Yeah. We can do a, do I know how to do polls anymore? Poll. How many would like to actually start doing some Q&A? You feel free to raise your hand in the activity panel. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and move to Q&A. We just want to make sure. I know there's a lot of changes, so Cody, you could either chat or unmute yourself.
Yeah, thanks for the rundown, everybody. Appreciate it. One kind of more logistical / admin question for what you guys are seeing. We have, in our current environment, we have Gemini blocked unless you're in a particular security group.
Okay.
While we were, because we have people take training and all sorts of stuff before we release them into the wild. But we're noticing with the changeover that we have to still assign the Gemini add-on license to folks before they get the functionality.
Okay.
And interestingly, I can then strip that license back off and the functionality stays. Are you guys seeing something similar? I wonder if it's something having to do with the rollout and the change Google's doing to licensing. So
I was wondering too, and honestly, we have seen a lot of people having a little bit of issues with it, just because someone who's already had the licensing, because it's kind of like it's on twice. Yeah. So I wonder if you have this setting on, so or unchecked, because this one says allow users to access Gemini app regardless of the license. So if that's checked, then everybody should be able to access like the Gemini app specifically. But I think this setting will go away because you can control it right here. Like I can turn the service on for specific OUs and turn it off for specific OUs. And like you're saying, like for a specific group. So I wonder if that could be off. Maybe it could just be a propagation thing too, because I know that they said, and Susie, correct me if I'm wrong on the dates, but I know they said they were starting to roll this out, like, included in all the SKUs, I think starting January 29th and then up to like February 15th. So it could just be a slow process. And then maybe after February 15th, you'll no longer even see that license available in your environment, Cody. And then it's just going to be on, you know?
That's what I figured. Because we do have that setting turned off because we don't want people going to non-enterprise grade Gemini.
Right.
So we have that off, right? But I just noticed some inconsistency where people that had the license assigned in the past but don't, they get added to the security group, now magically get access to Gemini without the add-on license being applied. But other folks that newly get approved for it, we have to apply the add-on license for them. And I'm guessing, to your point, it's propagation. I was just kind of curious what you guys were seeing as well. So
yeah, and you know, I wonder, I haven't checked. I wonder, see, the licenses are still showing here, and that's what I think. I think once this fully gets removed, then I think we'll see some more consistency. I think you're right. I think it is a little inconsistent because of, so like, it's almost like turning it on twice or something, you know, it's throwing off the admin console. Similar to, like, you know, I don't know if you've played around with the admin roles before, but I've seen in the past, like, a lot, you know, some clients will mention like, oh yeah, you know, I gave myself super admin privileges, but I'm not seeing them. But then I look at their account and they gave themselves all of these roles. And it's like, well, if you give the highest one, that's the only one you need. And I think they were fighting each other. So I wonder if it's something like that.
Could be.
But keep it posted. Yeah. If you find the issues, you know, like I said, or I think it's February 15th, or maybe it's the 14th. I think that's a Friday. So if you see it maybe like the week after, definitely let us know. We could open up a ticket with Google, Cody. And you know, I'd be curious to see the results too, because I'm sure you're not going to be the only one that's going to experience that.
Totally. And it's, I mean, it's navigable. It's just, it was a little odd. That's all.
Yeah.
And then one just final bookend question. Are you guys going to make this recording available just in case I've got some other people on my team that might want to review it? Is this something you guys will share out?
Yep, we will clean it up and share it. It takes a couple days for it to get cleaned up through our marketing team, but we'll have the bulk of it available.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else with questions?
I know, Cody, also, I know we're going to try to start doing a couple more of these too. Like, you know, Susie had to do this one just because it was kind of like a quick one because of the changes that happened so fast. But I think we're going to try to wait, you know, a month or so until some of these other features come out, like the presentation creation, and eventually there will be gems in the side panel. Like right now, that's not available yet, but eventually you'll be able to see gems listed here. So we're kind of waiting for some of those newer features to come out so we can do like another big demo for, like, you know, multiple clients at one time, just because it's good to have, you know, people see that. So yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that for sure.
And also, the new roadmap should be coming out probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll have access to see what is being planned to be released. So if you guys are really curious and you are really embracing AI, reach out to your customer success manager and request a roadmap. We're going to have 2 available. We have Core, Workspace. Even though Gemini is now part of Core, we keep them separate just because there's been so many new features releases for Gemini that it does take quite a long time. So we usually do about 2 of them. They're probably about 45 minutes each. So you could do both or one or the other. So definitely happy to do that for you guys.